My next guest, we're going to see him this week on The Ultimate Fighter. He, of course, made the cast for season 27, and he's an undefeated 6-0 featherweight fighter, fought primarily at bantamweight, though, in his career. It is Brad Katona joining me here. Brad, how are you?
I'm great, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem. It's good to talk to you again. And I knew something was up, as far as you making the show and everything like that, because you went kind of radio silent on me. I didn't take it personally, though. But congratulations right off the bat. Take me way back to the tryouts and going through that process. When did you kind of know you were going to get selected for the show?
Well, I went down to the tryouts with the idea of if I'm going to... I was going to be flying from Dublin to Vegas, so it was going to be more expensive. So I was going down with the mindset of, it might sound really cocky now, but at the time it was, well, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to get selected. I just had that belief, and fortunately I was selected. But really I just believed in myself that, okay, if I'm going to be doing this step, it's going to work out. And I was that close. I was very close to not being able to make it. Being situated in Dublin, it was very tough because I'm an international fighter. I'm not American, so all of us needed criminal record checks. We needed background checks done, and the problem was, how am I going to do this in about 2 weeks? Being in Dublin and getting all of that coordinated was a real pain in the ass. It really was, but it all got in just in time. Just when I was going to give up on it, John Katona at the gym was just saying, he gave me that extra little push, being like, well, you should kind of look into this a little bit more, and really, he kind of gave that extra little push over the edge where I would have been on the fence. I was just about ready to be like, well, it's not going to happen, and it just so happened that I found a way to do it, and 2 days before the tryouts, everything was booked, and I was going to Vegas.
Wow, that's interesting. So we got to give credit to John Katona for giving you that little extra nudge, and
as well as the people at home. Also, the people at home in Winnipeg, they were pumping it up, saying, "Oh, Brad should do this," and I was like, "Absolutely, I should do this." But how the heck am I going to do this? And the tryouts were really interesting. It's done so quickly. Like, the trials are so short that I really feel they were just looking to see who they were missing. They already knew who everybody was. The UFC does a good job scouting talent already, so they knew who everybody was, and it was just seeing who they were missing. So fortunately, I was selected to go through the process and then eventually make the show.
How much do you feel training at SBG helped you get on the show? Because we've seen in the past, usually if you come from a big gym, the chances of you making the show are a little bit better. I mean, if you would have gone just under your regular gym, back home in Winnipeg, I'm guessing you probably wouldn't have got selected. Do you feel that way too?
It's really tough to say. I think it added an extra little wrinkle in my story, and my story to be told on TV as well. Just the fact of how everything worked out timing wise, it's kind of, head to Dublin in November, start training here, all of a sudden the show comes up, have that opportunity, and then get selected. I think it makes for a good story for TV. So maybe that helped, and also it kind of maybe hits two audiences. It hits the Canadian audience, it hits maybe the Irish audience. I was on the show with a fellow teammate, Richie Smolin, who's been at SBG his entire career. So I wasn't the big draw for the Irish crowd, but at least it could be, it hits a couple key markets for them.
Yeah, no, it certainly does. So you get selected for the show. What's it like? You made the show, you can't say anything. Like, how difficult was that? Like, waiting for them to at least announce that the cast had come out.
Yeah, it's very tough not to talking about it. And even now, having done all the filming, it's very tough not to talk about things that happen. I can't even talk about, who my coach was, and really was so limited on what we can say. So I'm really excited for it to finally air. That way, at least I can start saying stuff, because I've been kind of, as exciting as the experience was, you're holding it all in. You're not really able to talk about it. So, it's just this excitement just wants to explode out of you. So I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a relief when it finally airs, that I'll at least, after the first episode, talk about who my coach was, and then as the episodes air, just be able to reveal more and more, even with my fellow teammates.
Now, we saw on the listing of the applicants, or the people that are selected for the show, it says you're fighting out of Ireland, but it also notes that you're Irish. Just clear this up for everyone. You are Canadian. You are not Irish.
Yeah. I was born in Canada. I lived there my entire life. Right now, I'm training out of SBG Ireland. I moved here in November, and so I don't know how it all got mixed up, but somehow things got maybe confused. I haven't really seen it. It said fighting out of, which makes sense because I'm at SBG now. So I'm fighting out of Ireland, but I was born and raised in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Well, hopefully on the show or even after it, they say, training at SBG Ireland by way of Winnipeg, Manitoba, you'd hope. Cause give Winnipeg a little shout out,
Yeah, exactly. It's a smaller city, and they're loyal fans too. So, I've received a lot of support from people back home, and I'm looking forward to coming back home sometime and being able to see old friends and family.
Yeah, do you know when that'll be? Because I know you said you've been out there since November. I imagine you just stayed out there and haven't gone back.
Yeah, right. Just unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to travel back home. I don't know exactly when it will be, but hopefully for the summer, because Winnipeg's beautiful in the summer, and I really don't
nice and warm too.
Go in the middle of the winter. So hopefully the summer.
Yeah, that's great. And of course, the Winnipeg Jets are in the playoffs too. That's like the first time you probably haven't been around to see them actually doing well.
Yeah. I've been fortunate that I've gone to a couple Winnipeg Jets games, and it's a lot of fun. And I know a lot of friends are watching the games live, and it's just a lot of excitement in the city. So I'm missing a lot of it, but it's for the best of reasons.
Now, being at SBG, did you have any chance to train with Hakeem Dawada, who's another Canadian who I know trained there before his debut? Did you see him at all?
I did see Hakeem in and out of the gym, but unfortunately just how timing was, I believe as he was getting to the gym, I was just leaving for Vegas for the show, and then when I came back, he was a week or two out from his fight.
Oh,
so,
gotcha, okay.
Just timing-wise, it doesn't make sense to throw in a new training partner right before your fight, so... I didn't have the opportunity to train with him. I would have loved to, but whenever he comes back, we can start training together. Absolutely, yeah.
But it is nice, I'm sure, having your girlfriend down there, Katie Saul, who's also training at SBG. Makes things a lot easier than doing the long distance thing.
Yeah, it makes things a whole lot easier. Funny being in the house and having no contact. Having no cell phone or no anything at all would make it easier, so if I had to keep a long-distance relationship with her back home, it would make it a lot more difficult as well. Being able to see each other in the gym every day is great, so it's one of those where, it feels like you're away from everybody, but at least you have your significant other with you.
Yeah. I got to ask, what's the mood like at SBG right now? We had the whole thing with Conor McGregor. I was in Brooklyn when that happened. It was kind of crazy. It kind of went down. Are things just business as usual, or are things a little bit different now? Because I know we haven't heard much from the SBG camp these days.
When that all went down, I wasn't at the gym. I was in Portugal doing a program out there. But right now in the gym, it just seems business as usual. I'm sure they're handling whatever they need. And that's about it. It really doesn't seem like much has really changed. So the spirits are high as they always are. So, it's always an exciting place to be training.
Two more questions for you here. First one, are you worried at all how you're going to be portrayed on the show? Because the power of editing, they can sometimes, put things together how they want.
I'm not too concerned. I made sure I was extra nice to production, so I'm hoping they'll edit me in the best of lights. But there always is that little concern of, okay, well, I said this, but I just said my opinion at the time. I could be proven wrong at any time, and if they want to show something that I said, or however they want to edit it, I know where the truth lies. So if it was my opinion at the time and I was wrong, then I don't regret saying it, because that's all the information I had at the time of the interview. But really, it's pretty well just all excitement going into the first couple episodes. It's almost surreal that it's finally happening.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. It's going to be exciting. And I'm curious to see if we see a different side of you because, I interviewed you a bunch and, you've had fights in the past where, there's been some trash talk. I know you and TJ Laramie, when you guys were supposed to fight in Hard Knocks, there was some trash talk, but you really didn't say much. I mean, you're kind of just this, typical, in a good way, a good Canadian kid, as they say. So I'm curious to see how that will sort of play out on the show, but I guess we'll have to wait.
Yeah. We'll see how they hype it up or anything. But really, I just tried to be myself on the show and just that's all you can do. I'm not going to be able to trash talk like Connor. There's no way. I'd look like a fool doing that, as well as I'm not going to. I was just like, okay, let's just be me because people are going to see after 6 weeks of filming, who's fake and who's not. So, I was just trying to be as genuine as I can and be a dork and play a bunch of games of chess. That's pretty well who I am, So, it's
is that what you're doing now? Are you still playing any chess as far as your downtime at camp? Are you watching any TV or anything like that?
Mostly just I haven't been playing much chess. I wish I could. I wish playing it online isn't the same as playing it in person. So I wish I had other people to play chess with. I tried playing with Katie, but I was more explaining the rules to her, so it wasn't the most challenging games. So now it's just just relaxing downtime in between training sessions. It's just about recovery in between.
Okay. No Netflix, though? You're not watching any Netflix or anything?
Absolutely. I'm excited for the new series of Westworld, but, I'm a big Silicon Valley fan. It's this HBO.
Oh, great show. Yeah, I've seen it. Great show.
It is so good. It is probably my favorite show out right now. So, it's like every week I look forward to that episode, and then I have to start a new series sometime, but I'm kind of just waiting until Westworld premieres. And then, hey, The Ultimate Fighter, I'll be watching that.
Got to check that out. Yeah, that's going to be must-see TV.
Yeah.
Well, Brad, we're certainly looking forward to it, man. I can't wait for this season. There's a lot of fighters on there that I actually know, so it should be interesting to see how that sort of plays out. But just in the meantime, remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media, any sponsors you want to thank, anything like that, man. The floor is yours.
As always, I need to thank everybody who's been behind me from the beginning. The people at the Winnipeg Academy of Mixed Martial Arts, Curtis Brigham, my coach since I was 15 years old, 14 years old. Everybody at SBG Ireland, John Kavanagh, they've really taken, they've really made it feel like home and have been extremely supportive through every process. Through the tryouts and training leading up to that, and even when I first got there, being nobody, I was just another Canadian fighter visiting the gym, training, and really the support behind both Katie and I have been great. In terms of social media, you can find me at Brad Katona on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm stepping my Instagram game up quite a bit, having been on the show. So just follow me if you'd like, and it's just me. I just try to be me on whatever platform it is.
What's up, fight fans? If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to see even more interviews with your favorite UFC and Bellator fighters. We've also got coverage at events, including post-fight press conferences and media scrums. And if you like this video, check out the video to my right. It's worth your time.